Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. This year has been difficult for the Anoa'i family as they lost WWE legends Sika Anoa'i and Afa Anoa'i. Sika passed away at the age of 79 on June 25th, and months later his brother and tag team partner, Afa, left the world at 80 on August 16th. On Instagram, WWE Hall of Famer and Anoa'i family member Rikishi recently posted a throwback picture with the Wild Samoans. In the post's caption, he remembered his late uncles and expressed how things had not been the same since they passed away. Rikishi further mentioned that he would always remember the time he spent with the Wild Samoans and their teachings. Genesis, blood drop emoji, missing my uncles, it's not the same anymore without them here. I'll always remember the good times of laughter, love, and teachings. #Anois, wrote Rikishi. Despite the setback, the Samoan family has continued to thrive in WWE with the Bloodline saga. Roman Reigns, alongside his OG bloodline, is feuding with Solo Sikoa's bloodline for the throne of the tribal chief, and with every passing week, the storyline is getting more intriguing than ever. The legendary wrestling family's future looks brighter than ever, with up-and-coming stars like Lance Anoa'i and Jacob Fatu joining WWE. Rikishi reacts to Bronson Reed being the fifth member of Solo Sikoa's bloodline for the WWE War Games match. On his Off the Top podcast, Rikishi reacted to Bronson Reed's addition to Solo Sikoa's bloodline for the War Games match at Survivor Series 2024. The WWE Hall of Famer said the Oscilla was a good fit in the heel faction. He also highlighted Reed's storied history with Jacob Fatu shared before they signed with the Stamford-based company. Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed competed against each other multiple times during their time on the independent circuit. Rikishi felt the duo's history could play an important role in the War Games match. I think he's a good addition. I think the use comes from New Zealand or Australia somewhere. He knows Jacob well from the independent circuit, so I think there's already a relationship there. I think it'll be a good fit for Bronson into the new crew. We'll see. He's a powerhouse, he's light on his feet, very agile for a big man. Very athletic. Bronson looks like he can hold his own, he said. It will be interesting to see how the men's War Games match will play out at Survivor Series 2024. What does the Triple H-led creative team have in store for the Bloodline saga next? Fans must stay tuned to find out. It was an overcast evening when Rikishi, the beloved WWE Hall of Famer, took to social media to deliver a heartfelt and unexpected message to his fans. Known for his exuberant personality, flashy moves in the ring, and his unique contributions to professional wrestling, the man behind the iconic Samoan stinkface now had a somber tone that left the WWE universe in shock. The message, shared via a poignant video on his official accounts, was simple yet devastating. Family is everything, and sometimes, the bonds we hold closest can face the hardest tests. The wrestling legend, dressed in a plain black hoodie, sat at a dimly lit desk as he began to pour out his heart. A strained bond. Rikishi, whose real name is Solo Fatu Jr., has always been deeply connected to his family, which includes some of the most legendary names in wrestling. From the Anoa'i dynasty to his own sons, the Usos, Jimmy and Jey-Uso, Rikishi's bloodline has dominated the industry for decades. But as he began to speak, it became clear that all was not well within his cherished circle. There's no easy way to say this, Rikishi began, his voice cracking with emotion. But the unity that the world sees when they look at the Anoa'i family, sometimes it isn't as strong as it seems. He paused, gathering his thoughts, before continuing. We've had our differences, our arguments, and lately, those differences have turned into distance. It hurts to say it, but right now, I feel like my family is falling apart. A message for his sons. Though Rikishi didn't mention names directly, fans quickly speculated that he was addressing his sons, Jimmy and Jey-Uso. The two have been at the center of WWE's most talked-about storyline in years, the Bloodline saga involving their cousin Roman Reigns and younger brother Solo Sikoa. As Jay and Jimmy have been at odds both on screen and, reportedly, backstage, Rikishi's words seemed aimed at his children. "There's nothing more painful as a father than watching your sons drift away from each other," Rikishi said, his voice heavy with sorrow. "You two, Jimmy and Jay, you were inseparable as kids. You were always there for each other, and now, I barely see that bond. Wrestling brought us together as a family, but it feels like it's tearing us apart." He wiped a tear from his cheek before addressing the fans directly. "I've always believed in the power of family, and I taught my boys that same belief. But the business we're in? It can create rivalries, not just in the ring, but in life. That's what I'm afraid of. The burden of legacy." Rikishi also reflected on the weight of the Anoa'i legacy and how it has affected the younger generation. "When you're part of a dynasty like ours, the pressure is unbelievable. Everyone expects you to be the best, to carry the family name with pride. But no one talks about how lonely it can be, how hard it is to live up to those expectations." He paused, his gaze distant. "I've seen my sons rise to the top. I've watched them become champions, make history, and stand tall as representatives of our culture. But I also see the toll it's taken on them. The pressure to be the best can make you lose sight of what really matters. Solo Sikoa and the weight of expectations." In a surprising moment, Rikishi shifted his focus to Solo Sikoa, his youngest son, who has been gaining momentum as one of WWE's rising stars. "Solo, my youngest, you've stepped into a world that's already so complicated. You've been thrust into the spotlight, and you've handled it with strength and determination. But don't let that spotlight blind you to what's important." Rikishi's voice broke again. "You're your brother's keeper, Solo. Remember that. They need you as much as you need them." A plea to the WWE Universe. The Hall of Famer also addressed the fans who have supported his family for decades. "To all of you who followed the Usos, Roman, Solo, and everyone in our family, thank you. Your love and support mean the world to us. But I need you to understand that what you see on TV isn't always real. We're human. We hurt, we fight, and sometimes we lose our way." Rikishi leaned forward, his hands clasped tightly. "I'm asking for your prayers, your love, and your understanding. My family is everything to me, and I just want to see them happy, together." Backstage rumors. Following Rikishi's heartfelt message, backstage reports began circulating, suggesting that his plea might have been influenced by recent backstage tensions within WWE. Sources claimed that Jimmy and Jay have been exploring different paths in their careers, with Jay recently stepping away from WWE altogether. Meanwhile, Solo Sikoa has been rising as Roman Reigns' enforcer, which has reportedly caused friction between him and his older brothers. Some insiders believe Rikishi's video was as much a personal cry for reconciliation as it was a public statement. "He's always been the glue holding the family together," one source said. But even Rikishi can only do so much when emotions are running high. Fan reactions. The WWE Universe responded with an outpouring of love and support for Rikishi. Hashtags like #FamilyFirst and #WeStandWithRikishi began trending shortly after the video was posted. Fans from around the world shared stories of how the Usos, Roman Reigns, and Solo Sikoa had inspired them, while others urged the family to mend their bonds. One fan wrote, "Rikishi is a legend, not just because of what he did in the ring, but because of the love he has for his family. We're all rooting for them to work things out." Another said, "The Bloodline storyline might be the greatest thing in WWE right now, but it's heartbreaking to think it's causing real-life pain. Family comes first. Hope for the future." As Rikishi's video concluded, he left fans with a message of hope. "No matter what happens, I believe in my family. I believe in the love we share and the bond we have. We've faced challenges before, and we've come out stronger. This is just another chapter in our story." He smiled faintly, though the sadness in his eyes lingered. "To my sons, Jimmy, Jay, Solo, remember where you come from. Remember who you are. And no matter what, know that I love you." Moving forward. As the wrestling world continues to speculate about the state of the bloodline, both on screen and behind the scenes, one thing is clear: Rikishi's heartfelt plea has struck a chord with fans and wrestlers alike. His message serves as a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of professional wrestling are real people with real emotions. Whether the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and the rest of the family can mend their bonds remains to be seen, but with a father's love and the support of millions of fans worldwide, the hope for reconciliation remains alive.